I freaking love Metal Slug Tactics. It's a delightful turn-based tactical RPG with roguelike elements, and I'm so impressed by how they've translated the classic run-and-gun gameplay into a completely different genre. This game is absolutely awesome, and in this review I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about it. So, how do you translate run-and-gun action gameplay into something strategic and turn-based? Well, by running and gunning, of course. Metal Slug Tactics cleverly requires you to constantly be on the move in order to generate health buffs and adrenaline points that you spend on character powers. So being on the move in this game actually benefits you. It totally maintains the spirit of Metal Slug, and the focus on movement means that you're constantly getting yourself into ever-changing and fun combat scenarios. It's just balls to the walls action in a turn-based format. There are so many gameplay systems at play here that are all fun to engage with, and it's gonna take you some time to learn and master them all. To that end, I have a complete guide on my channel if you want to look up some tips after this video. I'll drop the link in the description. But let me back up for a second here. So this is a run-based game, and you start a run by picking 3 classic characters from the series. Then you choose where on the map you want to go in order to take down Morden, who of course wants to rule the world. Within that world or biome on the map, you have to complete 3 missions of your choosing, and they all offer different rewards, with handmade levels that feature randomized combat encounters. So naturally, like you'd want, the game is highly replayable. It's not procedurally generated filler. The mission types are also pretty varied, and often there are secondary objectives that encourage you to play in specific ways if you want a specific reward. Now, every time you complete a mission, you'll earn rewards from objectives that will make your characters better, and your characters also level up during each run, earning new weapon and ability upgrades, and they basically just become powerhouses by the end of a run. It's really cool to see. And so after you finish 3 missions in a world or biome, you'll fight a boss, and if you're successful, you'll hit an unlock shop and you'll move on to the next region. All the characters play and feel wonderfully unique. There's 9 of them, and you can even unlock entirely new classes for each character between runs. It's really awesome. There's so much insane experimentation you can do in this game. The world is your oyster, whether you want to teleport allies or NPCs, or whether you want to willingly become a mummy just to see what all the fuss is about. You can also pilot metal slugs and lay waste to your enemies with them, because of course you can. The turn-based combat is driven by movement at its core, but you also have cover and elevation systems. There are even interactive elements on the map, like catapults that make you soar across the battlefield, or barrels you can explode to do massive damage with, and of course you can do team attacks that do extra damage to your enemies if you position yourself nicely. These are called synchronization attacks. They're a core element of the game, and you can learn more about them in my guide if you want to. But really, what impressed me the most about the gameplay of Metal Slug Tactics is the strategic freedom it gives you. There are so many synergies between characters and different ways to tackle any problem. It almost feels like an open-ended combat sandbox. Even if you dig yourself into a hole mid-run, you can usually pull yourself out of it. There's just so many different options, and it's really fun to engage with them and try different things. With this game, you always feel like you're in control. You feel like the boss. You feel like you're in the driver's seat, and I think that's really refreshing, because so many tactics games can feel like you're kind of struggling against the opponent, or trying to cheese the opponent, or trying to bait them into a trap. Of course, you can do some of these things as well, but point is, this is run and gun, but translated into a different genre, and it's cool. I would say the game isn't brutally punishing on its default difficulty, but it's definitely going to take you around 5 or so hours before your brain kind of adjusts to, hey, you're running and gunning, but it's turn-based, and it's not just, flat 2D. So again, if you want to know more about the gameplay or just looking for tips, be sure to check out my guide. Take a shot every single time I plug my guide. I'm going to stop doing that right now. Link is in the description. Take one more shot. On another note though, I adore how Metal Slug Tactics looks and sounds. The pixel art is just so beautiful, it animates so well, it's highly evocative of the classic Metal Slug games, and it gives you those good feelings that you want from Metal Slug. The music and sound effects are all bangers, and they tap into that nostalgia you'll have for the series, but even if you don't have that nostalgia, you'll just enjoy it because it's high quality. I also love the character art. I think it looks fantastically retro, and in general, the game just feels stylish in a very Metal Slug way. Now, if I'm sounding very positive about the game, that's great, because I am very positive on this game. However, it's not perfect. The UI can get really cluttered in some endgame scenarios. I don't want to show them here due to spoilers, and it's not game breaking, but it's definitely annoying and can make you misclick. Another small issue is the camera during the enemy's moves. Sometimes it's off center and you miss some of the action, or it's framed in a way that's just awkward to look at and can feel a little bit sloppy, or maybe you're thinking like, is the game going to freeze? Is it going to bug out? What's it doing over here? Enemy turns can also feel like they take a long time just because there's a lot of beautiful animations to play out, but you can speed that up, so it's not really that much of an issue. Now, I had the weirdest thing happen to me. I couldn't actually complete the in-game tutorial, which is the first thing the game suggests you do. Now, it's entirely possible that I'm just a fool, that I'm an idiot, that I can't think, but 3 times I tried to do it, got to the end, and, well, the tutorial just didn't end. Nothing happens, and my opponent just takes phantom turns. Like, I hit end turn, opponent just hits end turn, and it just keeps going in an infinite loop. Now, it's not that big of a deal because you do learn a lot of the systems by that point, and you can exit out of it manually, and maybe that's what the game wants you to do. Do they want you to exit manually out of the tutorial? I don't know, it just doesn't seem right. It didn't feel like it was a natural conclusion. So again, I could be just really stupid about this, but it seems like no matter what I tried, the tutorial wouldn't actually finish. Good thing I have that full guide on my channel, right guys? Right? Take another shot if you're of age. One last small issue I have with the game are the boss battles. They all basically follow the same gameplay structure, and they're not really all that unique. They look unique, but they don't play in drastically different ways. I definitely would have appreciated more variety there, but you know, it's not the end of the world or anything like that. It doesn't ruin the game. And really, none of the issues I'm talking about are game breakers in any way. I'm just letting you know so that you're informed when you want to play this game. So then, let's talk about the value of what you're getting here. The game is about $25, give or take regional pricing. You get 4 biomes to play around in, although 2 of them are similar visually. There are distinct characters and tons of different ways to play, as well as so many different weapons and skills to unlock. There's really a lot going on in this game. It's pretty hard to put a number on the length of this style of game because it is run-based, so you're probably going to be playing it for at least a dozen hours if you like it, probably even more if you really like it. And if you want to try out different characters and classes, that you want to unlock some of that stuff, you're probably looking at around 20 hours of game time. And if you're a completionist, the devs were saying that it's going to take you at least 30 hours, but of course, all of this depends on your playstyle and your skill level as well. So if we had to put a rough estimate around this, basically you're looking at $25 for about 20 hours of the game, assuming that you like it. For me personally, that's a perfectly solid value proposition, but of course everyone's desires and economic situations are different. I'm just letting you know what you can expect here. And ultimately, if I had to give a score to Metal Slug Tactics, I would give it 4 out of 5 stars. I love it, but I love it so much that I can't feel like I want more and the game doesn't offer more. So I want more biomes, more mission types, more enemy types, more of everything. I'd also like to see better boss variety, a little bit more polish, and I would love to see multiplayer in this game. Multiplayer would be amazing, but probably really challenging to pull off, whether it be PvP or co-op, but my goodness, imagine playing this with friends. Wow, that'd be such a good time. I know that's not exactly in the scope of the game, and it's not like they said there would be multiplayer or anything like that. I'm not saying, 4 out of 5 stars because there's no multiplayer. I'm saying you can't help but think about it when you're playing because it's so fun and unique. And I really hope if they do a sequel that multiplayer is a thing, or maybe DLC down the road, I don't know. But overall, I think Metal Slug Tactics is a wonderful game and it's so well designed. It's even got a silly little Metal Slug story with some fun character moments you can unlock and some great humor. It looks and plays great, and it's one of those games that just makes time melt away. You'll be playing this game and it'll be sunrise and the birds will be singing. And folks, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy this content and want to see more gaming content from my channel. Your support really helps me out so much, but mostly it helps me not cry myself to sleep. You don't want me to cry, do you? You should like and subscribe. Bye.